Welcome to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by LA's First Choice Auto Auction on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. It's your chance to hear directly from the head of Lion Football. Now, live from Topala Catering in downtown Hammond, here's Alan Waddell.
Southeastern went to Abilene, Texas, and dominated the Abilene Christian Wildcats 35-14 to remain in a tie for first place in the Southland Conference. The Southeastern defense was dominant in this game as the Lions recorded 10 sacks and picked up 6 interceptions against the Wildcats. Offensively, Southeastern scored 21 points in the final 3:25 of the first half to pull away from ACU. Saturday's win sets up an epic showdown this Thursday night against Nicholls State. This is the first time both Nicholls and Southeastern have ever played for the River Bell when both teams are nationally ranked. And more importantly, the winner of this game will be Southland Conference champions and be the automatic qualifier for the FCS National Playoffs. Good evening, Lion fans. I'm Alan Waddell, and I want to welcome you to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction, live from our home right here at Topala Catering in downtown Hammond. We have a packed house here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, wherever you may be, whether on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network or watching live on the Southeastern Sports Network through YouTube. We'll be with you until 8 o'clock, and over the next hour, we'll get Coach Scelfo to break down the big win against Abilene Christian and then get you ready for Thursday night showdown against Nicholls. Also, a special treat for everyone tonight, as quarterback Chasen Virgil and defensive end Isaac Adiemi Berglund are here, and we'll hear from them. Let's take a break. When we come back, I'll be joined by the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions, Frank Scelfo. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo is presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topala on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
What do you love most about being a student athlete at Southeastern?
So I chose teammates for life because on our golf team, nobody's from the same spot, but the friendships we've made once we graduate, I know we'll always be friends, we'll always see each other, we'll always come back and visit.
All right, welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo is presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topala right here on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. I'm Alan Waddell, and at this time, we're going to welcome to the show the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach Frank Scelfo. Coach, congratulations on a big win in Abilene Christian, and thanks for spending some time with us here tonight. He's not on.
Appreciate it.
All right, now
I'm
you're
on now? Okay, now you can hear me. Thank y'all so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Packed
the
house
support
in here
that we've
tonight.
been getting. Yeah, so order up early, eat a lot, and let's enjoy it together. Our time together, right?
Well, Coach, we talked about it last week. Back-to-back, the two longest road trips that the Southland Conference has to offer. You go to UCA a week ago, then you have to go on the plane flight over there to Abilene Christian. This is a team that we thought was much better than their record at 5-5. They were in the top 5 in just about every statistical category in the conference. You went over there, and you're up 35-7 at halftime. You had that little flurry right before the half, but really played well. And then defensively, 10 sacks, 6 interceptions. That certainly is the story of the game.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen every day, right?
No.
I thought our preparation through the week was good, though, Alan. We spoke about that towards the end of the week. I thought what we did Monday through Thursday was really lights out on the field. Our guys practiced well. We had a couple of really cold days. It didn't affect the focus. We did the things that we need to do from a game plan standpoint, and then we executed it on Saturday. I think when it was a great flight. Thank Dr. Crane and J.R. Teagues for allowing us to fly out there. It's a big expense for the athletic department for us. But it puts us at an advantage when we're able to take that flight and get our guys there in a timely fashion and get back for the next game, which is this Thursday. But we're back in Hammond at 9 o'clock on Saturday night. And, that's just it just makes it good. We talk about the FBS experience on an FCS budget, and that's exactly what we're talking about. It was first class. Our guys handled the trip really well, and the responsibilities that they took upon themselves, especially on the field, they did what we needed them to do, man. It was good.
Coach, just being on this trip and being around your players and your coaching staff, there just seems like there's a different level of focus right now than maybe we saw a year ago. This team's locked in, and you can see by the way they're playing and they're preparing, and it's showing on Saturdays.
Yeah, it's a maturity level. Our guys are mature, and so when you have mature players, and you'll hear from some of them tonight, man, great leaders, but you get that, and then they impart that on and help the others, and then the culture in the locker room, they hold people accountable. Mediocrity is not allowed in our locker room. It's not okay to mess up. It's not okay just to not do things. It's not okay not to go to class. It's not okay anymore, and we're changing that. But it's got to come from within the locker room, and our guys are doing that. And like I said, you're going to hear from some guys who preach it and talk about it, but they live it. It's one thing to talk about it, but it's everything to be about it. And our guys are doing that. They're being about it, and it's fun to be around. I said back in August, I love this football team. I love where it's going. And I think we're going to I really believe in what we're doing.
Coach, when you're going into this game against Abilene, certainly if you were going to have success, you had to stop their run. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to run the football. Tracy James is one of the top backs in our league. You held him to 9 carries for 29 yards. You were able to stop the run. They only had 12 first downs in this game. When you took them out of their running game, made them put the ball in the air more, and that's why we were able to get some interceptions.
Yeah, they were 2-quarterback system. And you got to credit our players for being able to we had some calls for one of the quarterbacks, and then when the other one came in, we had a separate set of calls, and our guys executed that. So it's basically 2 separate game plans that we had to go in with, and our defensive staff did a good job putting it all together. But, again, the execution comes down to the guys on the field. And because they were able to execute, and if you look at it, they averaged 1.1 yards a carry for the entire game. Well, that doesn't happen, man. That just doesn't happen. So hats off to our guys on defense. And then when they started throwing them up, we were there to catch them. We caught a bunch of them, caught 6. And it's one thing to put yourself in position, but you still have to make the play. You can't. There's sometimes guys drop balls, but I distinctly remember. When you look at Donnell's in the end zone, he was back there on top of that post route. And he made the pick. Xavier had great coverage on the sideline on his. Chantrez jumped a route just because of something that we had practiced, and he jumped that route and made the play on that. So the things that happened, both of Trey's was in position both times. So those things happen for a reason. That's just not luck. It's just not bad execution on their part. But our guys did a good job from an execution standpoint.
When you look at this, I thought your depth was really on display in this game. You've been developing depth all year long, and you were without some guys. We talked about Philando Jordan a week ago was Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week. He couldn't go this week. You ran a true freshman out there at corner. Dontrell Smith, he's played a lot this year, but I thought he played outstanding.
How about that? Huh? Yeah, he's just a little old skinny thing, man. Runs around. He's awesome. He's doesn't have a care in the world. He just every day's Christmas Eve for him, man. He's just getting out there going. but he played so well. He played, the Houston Baptist game, he played 60-something snaps and did a great job against a team that really throws the football well. And then came back in, so he gained a lot of confidence and experience, and he was able to come back this week, play the whole game, and do a heck of a job.
12 freshmen played in this game?
12 freshmen played, yeah. We've been playing every week between 10 and 15. Heck, we didn't even sign 12 freshmen for a couple of years, and we had 12 of them playing the game. So when you watch those guys develop over the course of time, coming in the summer, having an opportunity to put all those guys in summer school, which, again, our athletic department does a great job giving us the funding for that, and then having them for camp, watching them grow, watching them figure out where the cafeteria is, the class, the weight room, putting their pads on, and then growing through this process. Man, been lights out.
Lions win this one 35-14, and not very often you look at a game and you say, man, a 3-minute stretch really determined the outcome of the game. And in this one, it really did. I mean, you scored with 3:25 to go up 21-7, and you scored 2 more times. It was 14-7 with 4 minutes to play in the first half, and you go in the locker room 35-7. That last 3 minutes was almost executed to perfection.
Open. They tried to score. We scored and go up 21-7, and then they tried to do something with it, and we were able to use it a couple of times. We didn't have to use them all. So we got the ball back. They were kicking into the wind. They punted into the wind, so we got good field position. CJ made a great catch on the sideline. We went in and scored. They got the ball back again. We used our timeouts, which forced them to punt. I wanted to force them to punting into the wind. And when they did, we busted through. Justin Douglas got the block punt. We got it down there and then chasing through the touchdown pass. So it was really a great job of executing from our guys, doing what we needed to do to get points at that point in time.
We'll certainly talk more about this game, the Abilene Christian game, here later on in our program. I do have to touch on the fact that, a few weeks ago, Coach, we were sitting here. We talked about really a second season coming out of that bye. 5 games to go. You've won 4 of those games, heading into that 5th one. And certainly by winning those 4, you've given yourself an opportunity to win a Southland Conference championship. That'll be this Thursday night against Nicholls State. A lot on the line, and I know you're proud of your team for putting themselves in this position for Thursday's game.
Yeah, we've said it all year long. This is where we want to be. Not everybody believed that, but our guys did, and that's the ones that matter. The players, those guys believed it all along, and that's why we're in this position that we're in. And when we're focused and locked in, we're a pretty good football team, and I think the rest of the conference is seeing that, because when you go in this conference, you see it every week. You saw it upset again this week, and again, some people call it upsets. We just see Northwestern beating Sam Houston. The guys that call it upsets are the ones that picked Sam Houston and got it wrong. Like I said, those are the people that call it an upset. Every week in college football, man, if you're not locked in, that team, the other team's going to win. And it happens every week. And coaches and players go, well, we executed better. Because you don't go into a game thinking, God, no matter what we do, we're not going to win. Because it doesn't matter who you play. You have an opportunity to win because you got to play it out on the field.
As Coach alluded to right there, Northwestern State did give the Lions a little help, knocked off Sam Houston State this past week in Huntsville. So right now a 3-way tie in the Southland Conference between UCA, Southeastern, and Nicholls. But since Southeastern and Nicholls beat UCA head-to-head, this game Thursday night will be for the 1 seed in the automatic qualifier in the FCS National Playoffs. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to have a lot more for you. We're going to do our giveaway. We got some great prizes. We're going to give 2 away today.
How about that? A double whammy
2 blankets.
Tonight, huh?
We have a Southeastern blanket. We also have a Southland Conference blanket. We're going to give those away here to one of the lucky fans in attendance. If you have not put your name in our drawing, go over there and see Kimler Chapel while we're at break. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be back right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
What opportunity has Southeastern provided you that you will forever be thankful for?
Southeastern's giving me the education I need for my future. Whether or not I go pro, I know I'm going to be successful.
The Southland Conference, 13 member institutions, over 4,200 student athletes, achieving success in the classroom while excelling in 19 NCAA Division I sports and making a difference through serving others and giving back to the community. Determination, hard work, commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Together, we are
At 11 a.m. each day throughout the Lion football season. Topala is located at 104 North Kate Street in Hammond and online at topala.com. Topala knows there's no better place than Hammond, Louisiana, and invites listeners to show their support for the Southeastern Lions and lion up.
All right, welcome back. Just getting started here on Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. Talking about the Lions' big win this past Saturday, 35-14 over Abilene Christian. Moved the Lions to 7-3 overall right now and 6-2 in the Southland Conference. So let me turn this down right there. Okay, but Coach, again, this was such a big game, being able to stay in that race. Every game was so important to be able to just stay at the top of the standings. You were able to do that, and I thought your team started fast on Saturday. Came out and got a defensive stop, and then were able to go down and put an efficient drive together, 6 plays, 63 yards for 149 off the clock as DeMonte Williams ran it in. And you were able to start fast on the road, and you've done that the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was well executed. You know, I thought offensively the plan, those first 6 plays scripted out, and did a good job getting the ball in the end zone. Devontae's run really had the safety to beat, and he got that at the goal line, and the guy wasn't going to keep him out. But, you know, we had some completions along the way. We had a run. I thought it was, you know, for us being able to get out in that against the wind was really positive because we didn't want to punt into the wind right there and give them a short field coming back.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's something I did want to address, the fact that out there in West Texas, you know, not a lot of trees. So that wind was
short
blowing.
Trees. You kind of said today they're really short trees.
Yeah.
So
I
never measured trees, but yeah, they're short out there in West Texas.
They were short.
It's not like the pines and the oaks here. Yeah, it's not near as pretty as.
But that wind was probably blowing 20 miles an hour field level.
Yeah, a lot of times it was, and then you know, so when you don't want to punt into that if you don't have to. So it's really important for us to get points going that way in that direction because we were going into the wind.
Coach, offensively, one of the big changes I think this year is the fact that you've been able to run a lot of 2 tight end sets. And we saw Matt DeBlasio with the long touchdown catch there in the first quarter. And this is a guy that really has complemented what Branson Schwabel does on the other side, or sometimes stacked together.
Yeah.
But what has that brought, being able to play 2 tight ends, especially and show teams a 2 tight end set? Well, you don't see that in college football a lot very much.
You know, the flexibility that we have right now, and I think is what's important. You know, us to be able to go 2 tight ends and a fullback and 22 personnel, and then go empty and go 10 personnel. So I think what it does, it locks. When you have that much flexibility, it'll lock an opponent into basically checking the certain coverages and fronts based on your personnel grouping. There's going to be some stuff that you're going to be able to lock them into, which will allow you to game plan or make calls during the course of the game. And I think for us being able to do that, you have to have quality players at those spots. And when you mentioned Matt, that's what you're talking about. But Damian Dawson's also that guy too. Same thing. And then when we go to 10 personnel, we got all the receivers and everything in between. So we can go 20 where you got 2 backs and 3 wideouts, or 21 where it's 2 backs and a tight end and 2 wideouts. We've got every personnel grouping available to us. And all those guys, they're quality individuals, but they're quality players. So
Lions win this one 35-14, had a 35-7 lead. And I'm certainly going to ask Chasen when he comes up here, but we saw him run the football a little bit more.
Yeah, I want to ask
week.
Chasen that too. Yeah, I'd love to see that more often.
And took off, had a big conversion on the first drive, and then the quarterback dropped for a touchdown.
Look, I think 23, Jeremiah Chambers is one of the best linebackers. He might be the best linebacker in our conference. He's a heck of a player, man. He's there. Chasen just went, whoop, whoop, see ya. And I'm going, where's this guy been? Where has he been? I've been looking for. He ran for 2 first downs against Jacksonville State in the first game. You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he looked unbelievable, and then we lost him for a while. But
he's locked in on you right now.
He's back. He's mad. He's trying to take that bite of red beans and rice, but he's back. He's back with us, and when he takes off, he's a weapon, man. He's a weapon. It was good to see him do that. I was happy for him.
We talked about in the first half, certainly that last 3 minutes was just an onslaught. I mean, the way you were able to pull away from him, you go in the locker room 35-7, and really kept your foot on the grass defensively in the second half. Offensively, had a few had some penalties that slowed us down there in the second half.
The turnover and the penalties, and just we kind of grinded to a stop there. And now we tried to run. We wanted to take some time off the clock, limit the possessions and things like that. We don't. You look back in college football, Baylor's up, 31-6 this past week and end up losing the game. So teams can come back, and Abilene Christian's a very explosive team on offense. So it was important for us to limit the number of possessions they would have in the second half. We were able to do that, but I felt like it took the wind out of us a little bit. So I got to take credit for that somewhat by doing that, taking the foot off of the gas to limit the possessions. But the most important thing for us was winning the football game, and I think that's where our defense really turned it up. And with the sacks and the turnovers in the second half, did a great job.
We talked about the sacks. I mean, 10 big sacks in this game, and I think what was maybe a little surprising is your 2 top sack guys on your team is Isaac and Josh Carr. They only each had a half apiece.
Yeah.
So it was some other guys getting in there and having some big performances. Tiano Galula, he had 2 sacks in this one.
Yeah, he played well. That was probably his best game this year, Alan. He played really well.
Ramos had 2 sacks as well. David Fields had 1.5. So some guys, Xavier Lewis out of the secondary, Trey Spann out of the secondary. Right. You gave them a lot of different looks, and different guys were affecting the quarterback.
And I think that's what's important, when you look at a football team, is everybody contributing and is everybody productive? So you got to produce, man, when you're out on the field, and it's important to know that they can turn their protection to Isaac, and then we're going to have somebody free coming off the other side. The same thing with Josh. Most of the attention goes to him. We can have somebody else being able to step up, and that's Tanano in the middle really did a good job. Ron Cherry's been playing great all year. He had a good game again the other day. Just didn't get it from the sack standpoint.
He had a half.
He had a half. There you go. So, but those guys up the middle have really been playing well. Stephen Wright and Ron and Tanano and Toa, those guys are playing well right now in the middle of our defense. And it's letting our linebackers flow and run, and that's when you see sacks from Ramos and Trey Drake making a couple of plays. So, we're playing better up front.
12 tackles for loss as well. So they were constantly off schedule.
That's awesome. I mean, it's when they went to the Wildcat quarterback, we were able to, we were able to put pressure on him. So they started throwing the football a little bit more. He's not as accurate as number 3, Luke Anthony, and because of that, that's why he threw us a couple of balls. So it's all, we talk about it all the time. We got to protect the quarterback. We got to affect the quarterback, and for us to be successful, those 2 things have to happen, and we did that.
Coach, how'd you think punting? I thought Austin did a pretty good job into the wind, because that wind was tough.
Listen, it's 20-25 mile an hour wind and gusts, and he had to kick the ball down. He got a hold of one when we were with the wind. He didn't mean to. It's kind of like a oops 50-yarder. He went, oops, I didn't mean that. And I said, that's okay, man. You hit it good. You hit it well. And so that's a true freshman that has done an unbelievable job for us this year. He's hats off to him. Again, it's a guy that's come in, got to summer school, got to fall camp, and has really done a great job. My hat's off to him. We're so happy to have him here. From Slidell, right there in Slidell.
Lions had 86 snaps in this game, 432. Abilene only 63 and 283. And the big stat for me is they rushed it 31 times for only 35 yards. And that's what you knew you had to do in this game. And that's similar to what you're going to have to do again this week. And we're going to talk about that later on. But certainly they wanted to run the football, and you were able to take that away.
Yeah, and then, our time of possession.
36 minutes to 23.
The whole second half, we kept the ball away from them. And a lot, obviously the turnovers had a lot to do with it, but we were about 50% on third downs. I think 10 for 21, third down conversions, and then we were 2 for 2 on fourth down. So that's 12 of our 21 possessions. We were able to extend those drives, and one of those was taking a knee and all that stuff. But we were able to extend those drives and keep our hands on the ball and keep them off the field.
Coach, we sat here after the UIW game, and you said, hey, we got to protect the football.
Yeah.
And look, over this 4-game winning streak you're on right now, you're +9 in the turnovers, so you've been able to get some turnovers, but you've been taking care of the football offensively. We
have. And look, it's they come in bunches, and we're doing that defensively. We're doing that. And offensively, nobody means to Jason doesn't mean to throw an interception or somebody to fumble it. Nobody means to do that. But sometimes those happen. And when they happen, you move on. You go to the next play. And we're able to do that. And we're able to lock in. And we're able to get better. And we've grown as a football team from that standpoint. And the turnover this week, it's unfortunate. We didn't mean to do it. We just got to do a better job taking care of the football. And we preach that. We coach it. We talk about it all the time. And sometimes those things happen. But right now we're even. We're back to even. We're about in the middle of the conference, so our turnover margin is 0 now. And
we were like dead last like a few weeks ago, so we've come
dead,
all the way
like
back.
Dead last. We're behind Holy Ghost Junior High or something. We were behind everybody, and we pulled ourselves back into the picture. So that's. But to me, that's where when your team recognizes we're deficient in that area, and they're willing to do something about it, that comes from within the locker room. Coaches. We never once said, hey, just go ahead and throw the interception, fumbles. We don't care. That doesn't happen. But they got to take it upon themselves to make sure that it's important, and that's what they've done.
Before we go to break, I want to ask you, Devontae Williams and Austin Mitchell have been back returning punch. You've been showing a little two-look back there. Talk about that. And, I mean, it's been effective.
Yeah, we wanted to do it a little bit more, but Devontae's been hurt, So he got hurt right prior to the Northwestern game in Lamar. And so he's been out, and it's taken him some time to get back. And I think as he's gotten more and more healthy, you've seen us being more and more explosive offensively. And this was his first week back where he was able to go back to catching punts. He's just had to get comfortable with his injury, and now he's back there. Austin's been so good with us from that standpoint. But those two guys together, it allows us a little more flexibility from the standpoint of those guys punting away from us, rugby punting and kicking it away from one guy. So we put two. We still go after the punt, which we got a chance to block one the other day. But just having those two guys back there, that's two explosive players.
Lions win at 35-14 against Abilene Christian, move to 6-2 in the Southland Conference and remain in first place in the Southland Conference. Also, Thursday is going to be Senior Day, as we're going to celebrate this senior class. And we're going to have an opportunity when we come back to hear from a couple of our Lions seniors right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
Why do you support Southeastern Athletics?
So Southeastern is where our family started. We met my wife here, met all our friends here, and now it's given us 2 beautiful children, and now it's part of our family.
LionsSports.net.com. For everything about Southeastern Athletics, including schedules, live game coverage, and stats, visit LionsSports.net.
All right, welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla right here on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. We're now going to welcome to the show a couple of senior football players here for Southeastern, team captains, quarterback Chasen Virgil and defensive end Isaac Adiemi Berglund. And guys, thank you for spending some time with us. We're super excited to have you here tonight. As first of all, Chasen, I'll start with you, man. 35 to 7 at halftime. That last 3 minutes was certainly something to see if you were in attendance, but offense was really clicking right there in the first half.
Yeah, we just finished the half strong, and we just had the trust from Coach Scelfo to go out there and get it done. He put us in defense put us in a great situation to go out there. They blocked the punt and they stopped them, and we was able to use our timeouts. And offensively, we just took advantage of it and just executed like we were supposed to down the stretch and went up big in halftime.
I'll bring in Isaac in. Isaac, 10 sacks defensively, man. I mean, what can you say about that? That's incredible. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, you never hear about stuff like that, and I think it just shows credit to the coaching. Coach Guidry, Coach Monica, even, in the back end you have DBs making sacks, and I think it just shows the hard work that we've put in over the weeks.
I don't know if you know this, but right now Southeastern has 39 sacks. The school record is 41, and that was in 2013, but that was in 14 games. So we have 39 right now in 10 games. So we're on a record-setting pace here, affecting the quarterback, and that's going to be important this week. We'll certainly talk about that here in just a few minutes. But, Isaac, talk about a little bit of the transition you've had. You've really been, since you've been here, a stand-up outside linebacker. This year playing more with your hand on the ground. Talk about that transition a little bit for you personally.
Yeah, it's been a big change, but I feel like the coaches they've helped me a lot with my own personal development, taking it from a stand-up linebacker position where I'm dropping in coverage a little bit more to a little bit more hand in the dirt, playing with tackles more often than I would be, and it's been a quick transition for me just because the coaches made it so easy.
Chasen, really this is your second year playing in Coach Stevens, Coach Scelfo's offense here at Southeastern. I know that you had played in a lot of different systems and through your career, but how more comfortable are you now in year two under this system?
A lot more comfortable just being in it, for my second year. And I think last year, us as an offense, not just me, but the other guys, I think we were still kind of learning the offense as we were going. And I think just coming in this year, having spring, we kind of knew what we were doing and we were learning why we were doing what we're doing on offense, and it's helped us a lot. We were able to hit the ground running, and we've been good ever since.
Well, guys, going into the year, I'm sure that certainly one of your goals was to be able to play for a conference championship, and your team has put yourself in the opportunity to do that on Thursday night. I guess I'll get both of you to comment on this, but just where you're at right now than this time a year ago. I mean, it's just totally day and night. As this is a big game, but your team has put yourself in an opportunity to play for that game.
Yeah, I mean, we was in we was in a different position last year, and we just walked off the field from Nichols having that feeling that we didn't want to have that same feeling no more. And ever since then, we just had a vision of putting ourselves in the position that we're going to be in Thursday. And I'm just happy for our guys. I'm just happy for everybody, the coaching staff, that we've been able to do that. And so Thursday, it's going to be a great game, and, at the end we'll be celebrating.
Yeah. Everything Chasen said is correct, man. We've been thinking about that game for a long time. First day we come back for spring training, the code on the door has changed to, the score. So, and it's been like that every single day. We've pushed ourselves to become a better football team, and I think the seniors have taken a lot of leadership. You look at the team last year, and there's not a lot of huge changes. We didn't really lose a lot of production for the people that left, and man, we just challenged each other, and like Chasen said, it's gonna be a movie Thursday night, and I'm just extremely excited to go out here with this group of guys, not just the seniors, but the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen, the coaches, and the community. Man, it's been a great. This has been the greatest team I've ever been on, the greatest community I've ever been involved in, and I'm I'm so proud of what we've done as a team.
I know you're proud of your senior class as well. I see how close you are. 22 seniors. Let's hope it's not the last game at Strawberry Stadium this year, but it could be. So, certainly that's something that it's going to be a special night on Thursday night, strapping it up there in Strawberry Stadium.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's just crazy on how the senior class has come about. I mean, some guys have started here and have been here since freshman, and then you have guys like myself who've transferred in, and just to see how we've come together and just how tight of a family we are. Like you said, all this has kind of happened within like a 2-year span. And even with Coach Scelfo coming in, it's just for us to be as close as a group that we are. It's just amazing. And I wish y'all were around to see it a lot more and just be in a locker room with us and just see the energy that we have with each other. And, just we're a big family. We just love each other, and I think that shows on the field.
Isaac, you've been here a little longer than Chase, and what does this place mean to you?
Yeah, I got here in 2015, I think. Different coaching staff. I've had a different coach every year. Position, whether it be my position coach or my defensive coordinator. But this place means the world to me, man. I started here with the dream of coming down to the States to play ball, and it was my only offer. I didn't take a visit here. I just got on the plane and got here. Yeah. But it's been the best time of my life. I've met people here that I'm never gonna forget, and I'm so happy to go out with this group. It couldn't have happened any better.
Guys, I know that you've been doing a lot of film study, getting ready for this game Thursday. I guess I'll let each of y'all talk a little bit what you're seeing. What challenges does Nichols bring to the table for your offense there, Chasen?
I mean, they're a great defense. They showed that, throughout the season, and we know that coming into this week that they're going to be a really good defense. They're going to probably try to give us some fits and things like that, and they have a really good defensive player. I think we have Isaac, a really good defensive player that we go against every day at practice. But they have a really good defensive player, defensive line, and, we just got to be ready for it. But, like I say, I feel like we go against the best defense in the conference every day at practice, and, we're prepared to go out there and just do what we're supposed to do and just execute.
Isaac, I'll ask you the same question. Certainly a lot of their guys they've had success, and Chase Forcade was Southwood Conference Player of the Year a year ago, and you have an opportunity to get after that guy on Thursday night. What challenges do they bring offensively?
Chase is a great quarterback, man. I remember playing against him last year, and 2 years ago when we played for the Riverbelt here at home. He's a great player. They have great receivers. I think number 5, 21. They have a good running back. They're a good team. You know what I mean? And it's the Southland Conference, so you have good players all around. You have great teams all around. I think for us on defense, the challenge always will be and always has been stop the run first. You got to take away one part of their game, or at least try to. So that's, I think, our focus going into the game is how can we stop the run? How can we make them one-dimensional? And I think that's going to work for us.
Man, I tell you, if you're listening to this, if you're here in attendance, if you can't root for these guys, I don't know who you can root for. Guys, thanks for spending some time with us, and good luck this week. And we can't tell you how much we appreciate all you've done for Lion football and for Hammond. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have more right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
The Southland Conference, 13 member institutions, over 4,200 student athletes, achieving success in the classroom while excelling in 19 NCAA Division I sports and making a difference through serving others and giving back to the community. Determination, hard work, commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Together, we are Southeastern!
All right, welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla, right here on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. We're flying right along. It seems like we're going to be done before you know it here.
Yeah.
Got a lot to jam in.
How about those two seniors, man?
Was that awesome or what?
Guys, huh? Give them a round of applause again.
Yeah,
man.
that was
awesome.
They were great.
Jason's graduating. He'll be graduating in a couple of weeks. And Isaac, are you graduating in a couple of weeks too? In the spring? Isaac's a 3.8 something. I don't even know the classes that he's taken. I'm not allowed in those buildings. It's two great students, man.
No doubt
Proud
about
of
it.
them.
And certainly, if you're going to have a good team, you got to have that senior leadership. And certainly, you've seen that.
Well, you got to have a quality person. You know, it's one thing to be a good player, but you got to be a good person because people will follow good people. They're not going to follow bad people. Bad people end up those are toxic. Those are the ones you have to eliminate. And they're good people. They're good men. And that's why we're in the position we are, because of guys like that on our team.
Well, the Lions won this past week, 35-14 over Abilene Christian. We're going to turn the page now and start taking a look at the Southland Conference standings. That we talked about those earlier as a three-way tie for first place. But
right.
The Riverboat Classic this Thursday night, two of the teams at the top of the conference will certainly be playing each other, Southeastern and Nichols State. A lot on the line, and it's hard to believe, this is one of the biggest rivalries in the state of Louisiana. Hard to believe that neither team has been both teams are nationally ranked at the time of the game for the first time ever in this rivalry. So it's always been, it seems like they were good or we were good, but now we're both good, and this ought to be a heck of a football game on Thursday night.
I hope it stays like this for a long time, what you want to do is at the end of a season, you want to play – this game's got to mean more than, just the rivalry itself. There's got to be a lot more things going on. But for us, it's the – and you talked about it earlier, it's an opportunity for 22 seniors to go on the field maybe in Strawberry Stadium for the last time. That's sobering. It's a conference championship. It's the River Bell. It's a playoff berth. All of those things. But this might be my last game. Wow, that's different. So, that opportunity that they get, and they're going to want to go out the right way. And I can't wait to see it unfold. Just watching guys get ready and practice all week long and then perform. I might as well buy a ticket and watch them too, because it's just fun to watch, man.
It's good. These seasons go fast, don't they?
Well, it depends on where you're at. I don't think. It's long. It's a long season. What are you talking about, man? It's the same length. They don't go. It's long, but no, it's been enjoyable though. I can tell you that it's been the way we've played and the way we've grown and what we've done as a team. I like spending the time. I like being around the guys. They don't like me too much, and I'm okay with that. But I love being around the guys.
What's so unique about this game, in my opinion, is you have a lot of players that are going to be playing in this game that were high school teammates that grew up in the same communities. These schools are 45 miles apart, something like that. So this is a lot of familiarity. You're recruiting the same kids. They're playing against each other, and I think that certainly makes this game special. And it's good for South Louisiana.
It is. I mean, look at the state and look at the state of college football in Louisiana right now. When you look at us at Nichols, where we are, and LSU obviously is having an unbelievable year. UL's having a great year. Louisiana Tech's 8-2. Northwestern's just on a 3-game winning streak. Gramblin's won a couple of games. Southern right there. So you look at the state of college football in Louisiana right now, man. It's competitive. That's what I said when I got here. I want to find there's a passion in this state for football, for high school football, and it translates over to the collegiate level. And I want those kids here. I want those guys here, and I want that passion to come into Strawberry Stadium every time we play at home.
Well, let's talk a little about the Colonels, get our fans ready for this one, what they bring to the table. Offensively, I guess it all starts with Chase Forcade. I talked to Isaac about him a little while ago, but this is a guy that's a 4-year starter for Nichols. He was Conference Player of the Year a year ago, and if you're going to slow them down, you got to slow him down. And he's had another good year here in 2019.
Absolutely. He's a good player. I mean, good players have good years, man, and he's a good player. He's been a leader for him for 4 seasons. He's been a 4-year starter. The Offensive Player of the Year, or Player of the Year in the conference last year. I mean, he's everything that you want in a leader in the leadership position. He exemplifies that, and that's why that team continues to win, and they're successful on a consistent basis. And they're a consistent football team. Even the games that they haven't won, they've played well in, and he's played well. So, I mean, Chase Forcade, I think, is one of those guys when you look back over the history of Southland Conference. He's going to be one of those guys at the top of every category or right there in every category. And when you talk about players at each school at Nichols State, it's going to be Chase Forcade's name's going to come up.
Coach, one thing they're doing offensively is they're running the football a lot. I mean, they've rushed for over 2,000 yards this year.
They lead the conference in rushing.
Yeah, they're running the football. And we talked about Chase, but, I mean, he's running the football almost as much as he's throwing it. He's rushed for 11 touchdowns this year, and he's thrown for 12.
He's a weapon down there. He does a good job. When they get down there, he gives them that second option to go to. And, their running back's doing a really good job. He's a heck of a play out of New Orleans that went to De La Salle. And those two guys in the run game, I think their offensive line comes off the ball well. They're physical up front. They've got a good scheme, but it's those two guys really execute it well. And obviously it starts with Chase, but the guy's a dual threat guy, and but a great leader and he's a tough, hard-nosed player, and you really got to enjoy watching him play.
Coach, offensively on the outside for them, a couple of big receivers, Dejon Dixon, Deion Ray.
Yeah.
They haven't been healthy all year. And that was, I think, in the middle of the season, they struggled a little offensively. Those guys weren't available.
Right.
And what's crazy is Dixon and Ray have only played in 13 games combined, and they're still their leading receivers.
Yeah.
So even though they haven't played a lot, they still have a lot of yards and production out there at the receiver
position.
position.
They're good. They're both weapons. And they open up the run game because you have to sometimes commit an extra guy in coverage, and it's hard to get to the box. That's why, and Isaac talked about that, being able to stop the run sometimes with just a 6-man box instead of having to get to a 7 or 8-man box so that we can play coverage on the outside. But those are two dynamic receivers that do an unbelievable job. Chase really likes throwing to them. You can see they've got a good chemistry about them. When you watch them on film, the timing and things like that, we got to disrupt that. We've got to be able to get to and we talk about affecting the quarterback. We've got to be able to do that. We've got to get to him, get him off his mark, timing stuff, make him hold on to the football, maybe scramble, take him out of his comfort zone, and take those receivers out as much as we can. But you're not going to stop them. They score on everybody. They do a great job. We're not going to just shut them down. It's not going to happen. We just got to limit the production that those guys give them.
Right now, Southeastern number 2 in the Southland Conference in total defense. Nichols is at number 6, giving up 406 yards per game. Defensively, it all starts with Sully Lesh for them.
Yeah.
You're chasing allude to they have a good player. They do. I mean, he's a disruptive player. Again, he's been with them for a long time, and they move him around a lot on the defensive line. And certainly, you have to account where number 55 is on the field.
You got to know where he's at. He's that hard-nosed, tough guy, man. He's from Letcher. You love the way he plays. And I had a chance to meet his dad a few weeks back at Letcher. And his dad says, "Get ready, it's coming again." And I said, "Oh boy, okay." So I see where your son gets it from. He's, he's just one of those guys. And again, he's one that, and when everything's over and done with, and his career's over and done with, there's a good chance he'll be in the Nichols State Hall of Fame. He's top of the leaderboard in the history of Southland Conference in sacks and tackle for losses and things like that. High motor, high energy guy. And, you want your guys to look at that and say, that's how we got to play. That's how we have to perform. So, but we got some guys like that too now. So it's not like that's the only guys on the field. We got some guys like that too.
No doubt about it. Coach, I thought the way you talked about this earlier this morning at your press conference was touching. I wanted you to share that with our fans, or the fact that you're not preparing like this is any different game. I mean, it's just another week. I mean, it's certainly a lot on the line, but your preparation stays the same this week like it always does.
Yeah, it's not ho-hum. I mean, I'm not going that far, but we do have a process that we go through each week preparing our players. The only thing different is we condensed it a little bit because of the short week. But we have a process that we go through and preparing our players, and we got a routine that we go through, and we feel like it's effective, and it's been good for us, and we're going to stay to that. And we're not going to stand up and say we got to play harder this week because of the conference championship, or we have to play harder this week because of the River Bell. We got to play harder this week because I hope we've been playing hard all year. I kind of like the way we've been playing, tell you the truth. So let's just play like that and play with some clarity and go play fast, and let's see where it ends up. We'll look at the scoreboard at the end of the game.
Overall series record between these two teams tied at 14. So
it's
been
that's
28,
awesome.
Yeah, 14,
How
14.
about that, man?
So both teams.
The plot thickens.
Well, they
man.
always say,
Come on,
it's a
here we go.
rivalry game. It's not a rivalry if one team wins all the time.
Yeah,
so this is certainly
perfect. This is like the ultimate rivalry there,
yeah,
right?
this has been back and forth. So Southeastern leads the all-time series 7-5 here in Hammond, and Thibodeau Nichols leads it 8-5. And if you're counting that and say, hey, that doesn't add up to 14-14. He used to play at the Superdome for a few years, but so it's
you got me on that one.
Yeah, but I think this is great for this game.
I was a PE major, but I figured that part out. I can tell you that.
I think this is great for our state, though, in the fact that Thursday night it's going to be the showcase game.
Yeah,
you're going to get a lot. I know that Coach Rebo and yourself are going to be at the Greater New Orleans Quarterback Club tomorrow, so there's going to be a lot of people talking about this game, no doubt about it. And it's going to put a lot of eyes on Southeastern and Nicholls State.
Well, again, it's quality football, man. You watch Isaac Chase, you watch us players on both teams, man. They're good players, and these are good teams. And for people are going to be driving in from New Orleans and Baton Rouge and getting to the game and tailgating early. I'm not sure how early, but they'll be tailgating early. And,
being told at 1 o'clock, I'm getting a lot of ones out there.
1 o'clock, noon. Maybe at their house at 10. I don't know. But so we're going to get some people that normally don't come, and we want to show them the experience that you can have at Strawberry Stadium. There won't be 100,000 people there, but we're going to have a great crowd and a great atmosphere, and hopefully they'll come back when they see the product that we're putting out there on the field. The Southland Conference plays good football. I've been around the country and played in every conference, any NFL. The Southland Conference plays good, competitive football, and people need to come watch it and see it.
All right, let's take our final break. When we come back, we'll have our final thoughts. We'll do our giveaways, and we'll wrap it up right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
The Southland Conference, 13 member institutions, over 4,200 student athletes, achieving success in the classroom while excelling in 19 NCAA Division I sports and making a difference through serving others and giving back to the community. Determination, hard work, commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Together, we are Southeastern!
What do you love most about being a student athlete at Southeastern?
So I chose teammates for life because on our golf team, nobody's from the same spot, but the friendships we've made, once we graduate, I know we'll always be friends, we'll always see each other, we'll always come back and visit.
is presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. We just have a couple of minutes left to go. Before we get to our drawing, we want to wish.
It's awesome. I love this, clear bag policy that we have here.
We're going to wish.
Oh, my God. How about this? I thank everybody for coming each week. We've got such loyal people here, great fans and everything else. But, what you can't, it's so hard to overestimate how tough it is. But to be married, we got Junior and Peggy Matthew to be married tomorrow for 48 years. How about that, man? Congratulate them. Holly and I have been married for a long time. I'm not sure how many years, but 48 years, that is awesome, man. Congratulations. She's lucky to have you, huh? That's a beautiful thing.
All right, let's do our drawing. We'll do the Southland Conference.
All right, here you go. I'm gonna let Chasen draw.
All
Chasen's gonna draw the Southland Conference one. I'll let Isaac draw the other one. Reach in there, get us a name, pull it out. It's a clear bag policy here at Topla. Kemler Chapel put it in. Make sure there wasn't any activities that we just needed. There you go. What we got?
Carl Wells.
Carl, second-time winner.
Two-time winner.
There we go, man. Yeah.
All right, he'll take the Southland Conference one, and then we have this nice Southeastern Lion blanket we'll give away here tonight as well. Pull this one out of there,
That's
Coach.
one everybody liked that. Let's go, Isaac. You got this one. Holly donated
out of the grab
these.
bag.
Holly got these for me, my wife.
Come on, put one out there.
You're going to make everybody else mad except this person, Isaac.
Dickie Whitson.
How about that, man? President of LAA for us, man. Come on up.
All right.
Last week he threw the volleyball at the winner. I'm going to hand this to you.
It was my wife.
It was your wife. And she caught it. That was pretty good.
All right. Well, Lions and the Colonels, 6 o'clock on Thursday night. Again, tailgating starts at 1 o'clock on campus. So
awesome.
Get on out there early. I mean, if you got to call in sick, just call in sick. That's all I got to say.
I mean, we're going to shut it down, man.
Yeah,
Let's shut the town down.
We need everybody
out
there. And again, I said it earlier.
Yeah.
If you can't cheer for these two guys that were on our program here tonight and this group of seniors, hey, I don't know who you can cheer for. This is going to be a great night. Certainly, our school, our program is going to be on display. Two good teams going at it for a chance at a conference championship and an FCS automatic bid against the Colonels there on Thursday night. Coach, we just have a couple of minutes left to go. It's been a great night, packed house here at Topla.
Yeah.
Give us your final thoughts coming off of the 35-14 win at Abilene Christian and going into the Nicholls State Colonels, the River Bell Classic on Thursday night at 6 o'clock.
We started this season wanting to get to this point, to be in a situation where we're playing for the conference championship in this game. And to be able to go up against a team like Nicholls, how good they are, how well coached they are. What a great challenge for us to see who we are. And we've played well all year long. We're 7-3 right now, and we could have easily been the other way. We could have been 10-0 right now. And I think our guys realize that. We realize we got something special. And we're looking forward to our preparation this week. We started yesterday. We had a good practice again today. We'll practice well tomorrow. I believe that. We'll get ready on Wednesday, and then we'll play on Thursday night. But the chance for all of you guys, all of y'all, and then Hammond, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Vanderbilt, Covington, to come on over here and experience this atmosphere. Spend the day on campus. Come see what we got. We got a beautiful campus. Come spend some time there. And then bring it into the stadium, bring that energy into the stadium, and let's just watch and see what happens. I can't wait. It's for me. It's I'm not gonna say a dream come true, but just to watch what our players are gonna have been able to do and accomplish, and where they were at this time last year, and where we are right now. I can't wait to see it happen. Looking forward to it.
It's going to be awesome. The Lions and the Colonels for the River Bell. 6 o'clock kickoff on Thursday. Also, tailgating starts at 1 o'clock. The Lion Up tailgate party will start at 2:30 on Cajun 107, Highway 104.7, and the Boss 103.7 and 1400 AM WFPR Live right outside of Dyson Hall. So make sure you come by and see those guys as well. We're completely out of time. Thank you so much for coming out here tonight, as it's going to be a big one. Make sure you get your tickets. Get there early. Be loud. The Lions are playing for the conference championship on Thursday night. For Coach Frank Scelfo, I'm Alan Waddell. We'll see you next time on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. Line up, everybody.
broadcasts on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network are a product of Lion Sport Properties. For more information on how you can support future broadcasts, Lion Sport Properties is available at area code 985-549-2570.
Hey, this is Charlie Kerr from Japanese Girls, and you're listening to Lion Up with 90.9